Perfect. So welcome everybody to the call. I'm glad that some of you guys are on this. For those of you guys who went to convention, I'm sure I don't need to motivate or pump anybody up. Convention was quite an experience. And I think that when you go to convention, a lot of people have that excitement, but you don't want to just have the enthusiasm, right? Because people always say, like, I'm motivated, I'm educated, and I'm ready to go. But I think at the same time, Tony Robbins did a great job of delivering this message. You need a plan. You need to set up your strategy. So I think that's what this call is ultimately about. We need everybody to start thinking, what's the strategy? What's the best way to go? So for anybody who's thinking, okay, should I start getting customers? Should I start going out there and learning the product, doing spa parties, or whatever the case may be? I think it's pretty clear that USANA as a company is trying to encourage people to push enrollments. So if you guys were at convention, you guys heard the announcement, right? They're going to be giving out $50 for every enrollment that comes into the business, and when they do their auto order, etc. So USANA as a company is pushing enrollments. Now, I think for myself, I've been building this business for 8 years now. We had an excellent year last year. I was very flattered, very humbled by the whole experience. To be a Dr. Wentz Vision Award finalist, the nomination for me was a win. I would have never expected it in a million years, so it was awesome to see that. And like I said, I was just very humbled by the whole experience. So what's the focus? What's the direction? Let's go right into it. Okay, so Ignited, right? We all came to convention. We saw what that was like. It was pretty cool. So what to focus on after convention is the big question. Let's click on next. I think, first of all, a lot of people think about, just give it to me straight, what are some core values? Well, if you guys are a part of our GSA training manual, you guys will see that we have 3 core values in our USANA business. Number 1 is you have to focus on your rank. Focus on your promotion. Also focus on your team's promotions. So let's say if you're a gold director right now, and you have maybe 1 silver director. Try to beef up your team. Get 8 directors. Get 4 silvers. Like, start looking at the team and seeing who can rank events. So I think looking at your promotion and your rank, that's what you want to do. For me, every year, I still look at going at least 1 rank up. Actually, Scotty, it says that we don't have audio. Some people are typing in. I'm not sure if everybody can hear us or if it's just a couple of people there. Okay, some people have figured it out. Perfect. All right, so like I said, for myself, I look at convention and I think to myself, man, I never want to come back the same. You know what I mean? And no offense to those people who have come back maybe the same year after year, but for me, I try to make it a conscious effort. Like, I just don't want to come back the same, I want growth in my business. I want to make sure that I'm moving up. And not just for my own sake, right? But to encourage other associates that it's possible to move forward. So look at your rank, seriously. If you guys were at my house when I did the small group meeting, I told everybody, if you're not a silver director, that should be the minimum to come back to convention. You want to walk across that stage. I mean, honestly, for me, I think to myself, what's a big deal for me? When I walked across that stage at convention, I can remember feeling like a sense of accomplishment. And all silver directors walk across stage at convention. So highly recommend that if you're not a silver director, look at that. For me, if I was you guys, I'd shoot for gold. I think gold is really where it's at. I mean, when you look at USANA as a company, gold directors are treated like leaders in this company. So I think you guys should set the mark at gold director, okay? So anywho, for people who are thinking to themselves, man, that's a lot of work. That's so far ahead. I'm brand new. I just got started. I would suggest that the biggest thing you should do then, if you're brand new, is focus on Builder. And I'm talking about hitting Builder within the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks tops. Like, don't wait too long to hit Builder because it shouldn't take that long, especially if you're going pedal to the metal. So focus on your rank, focus on your team's ranks, okay? Number 2 is focus on events. Some of you guys don't have weekly events, and I think this is the time to start creating them. If you're local with us, you guys know that we do 2 events every week at the very least. 1 Health and Freedom on a Wednesday and a training on a Saturday. So we have those events. For cross-line people, we'll talk about at the end how you guys can also participate in that under the mentorship program. But I really think that it's an important thing that you're plugging yourself and your team into weekly events. If you guys don't have weekly events, I mean, think about it. USANA pays weekly, right? So you want to make sure that you're getting paid every single week. Weekly events are a must. Keeps the team engaged, keeps everybody focused. You can monitor progress. You don't have to wait very long before you can see if what you're doing is working or not, right? Because a lot of people think to themselves, well, am I doing the right thing? If you're getting promotions every week or every month, then yes, that's a good thing. You're doing it right. If your events are growing, yes, you're doing it right. So don't look any further. All right. Now, number 3 is growth and CVP. I've set the challenge for everybody. I'd say, man, hit growth 100. That's a big deal. That's for people to go out there and really grow their business at least $30,000 more this year than they did last year. So for me, if you guys look, every year I've been in the growth 100 at the very least. Growth 25, I've done it a couple times, but growth 100 year after year. That just shows that you're making a conscious effort because you can't grow by accident. So I really think growth is a pretty big thing. Okay, so let's go to move on to the next slide. So for those of you who saw my training, right, I mentioned this. I talked about the space shuttle, and it was all about ignited, so I wanted to kind of use that theme. When we look at the space shuttle, I mention it all the time, right? You guys have probably heard me say it before, but it's a 1.6 million pound object with over 800,000 pounds of rocket fuel. And when you look at this thing, you think to yourself, man, it's so massive, look at it go. But if you guys look, when you're first taking off in this business, you really have to give it everything. You have to put the thrusters full force. And that's what we're asking you guys to do. So looking at thrusters full force, what does that look like? That means not just doing the minimum. So I said weekly events, Wednesday and Saturday, right? That's the minimum. That's like just turning the thrusters on. That's not putting it full force though. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that if you're just doing the minimum, I don't think it's going to pick up the momentum that you're really looking for to go gold, silver, growth 25, growth 100, etc. Let's go ahead and click on next. You guys know that at convention, a lot of people look at us and think, man, it must be nice, right? And don't get me wrong, I look at people like Jordan Kemper and Conchita, people who are doing phenomenally well in this business. I look at Dean Shonis and Colette Larson, Jeremy Stansfield. I mean, Jeremy Stansfield, he's doing pretty well financially. But if you talk to the guy, he's like literally out in orbit like this. I mean, he's really built his business, and now it's just the momentum that's carrying him all the way through. But he did work hard in the very, very beginning. And he still works to this day, but it's just not the same amount of effort. But still, Fortune 25 member, really growing his business still. But it's just a lot of it has to do with the momentum that he created. So I want everybody to feel that momentum, but it takes everything in the very beginning. You'll never experience true momentum unless you work hard in the very beginning to get yourself off the ground. Let's go and click on next. All right, so we talked about Fast Start Bonus, right? Let's go and move on to the next one. If you guys want to understand the way it works, right, this is it. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. So from now until October 31st, anybody that you sponsor for one business center that activates, you're going to get $25. And if they do their auto order 4 weeks later, you get another $25. So that's an extra $50 for every associate that's enrolled. If you do a 400-point order, which is a 3 business center, you're going to get $50. And when they do their auto order, you're going to get another $50. So think of it this way. If you were to go out there and sponsor 4 associates for one business center, you would get $100 in bonus up front. On top of that, you would get $160 for the volume. So you have 160 plus 100, that's 260. Plus, when they do their auto order, you're going to get another 100. So a total of $360 for sponsoring 4 people. I think that's pretty good. That's if they're all getting the one business center. If you get 3 BCs, here's how it works, right? You're going to get $80 on your number 2 center, $80 on your number 3 center, and $160 on your number 1 center. So if you guys think about it, $320 for signing up 4 people, plus you're going to get $200 in bonus, right? Because you're getting $50 for each person. So $360 in commission, $200 in bonus, and $200 when they do their auto order. So if you guys are looking at the math, right? $360 plus $200 is $560 plus $200 is $760. So $760 for enrolling 4 people with the 3 business center. That's the kind of company we have right now. So let's take advantage of the Fast Start, because if we don't show that we appreciate it, believe it or not, I don't think they're going to do it ongoing. Next. So the 4 stages of leadership, for all of you guys that are brand new, okay, or even leaders who are already involved, this is something that we're going to work on with every single person who is part of the leadership program. Okay, so if you guys are brand new, we're going to walk you guys through the steps. If you're level 1, you're brand new, you're just going through training, right? You're learning the business. You're learning prospecting, inviting. We're going to role play with you. We're going to get your inviting skills up. If you guys are just watching this and not going to be a part of the mentorship program, here's some of the personal development tools that we just suggest you guys listen to or read. If you guys are now builders and achievers, following up, closing, there's a personal development along with it. If you guys are directors, bronze, you guys can see the personal development tools there. But in a nutshell, this is the map. This is like the syllabus for anybody who wants to work with us and get mentored. Our goal is to get you as far along this chart as possible within those within 90 days. Okay, when we start really making this push. Let's go and click on next. Okay, if you guys understand the way this works, it all comes down to these marketing funnels, right? As you guys are out there prospecting, networking, if you guys want to bring in 20 people in 30 days, it's going to take a lot of invites. It's going to take a lot of people that you're talking to. You can't just talk to 20 people and expect to get 20. You literally have to talk to, I want to say, 100 people. If you talk to 100 people, I think it's very possible for you to get to 20 in 30 days. That means that you have to present to at least, what, 3 people to 4 people per day, or invite 3 to 4 people per day. That's what it's going to take. So I think if you're up for the task, know the work that's required, right? Inviting to an appointment. So the more you network and prospect, the more invites you're going to have, the more presentations you're going to set up, the more follow-ups and closes you're going to have, and the more enrollments you're going to have. So let's go and click on that real quick. All right, you guys looking for leadership, right? Thinking, okay, well, what about bringing them in? Then what's next? The next thing is that you want to make sure that you're developing your leaders. So once again, going back to the chart you guys just saw, it's learning, practicing, teaching, duplicating, and then having independent leaders. The last time we did this push, we had people go literally from silver to gold. We had people go from gold to ruby. Rubies go from rubies to emeralds. We had a lot of people progress during this leadership program that we had, right? And it was a good thing. But the reason why is because we were able to not just help them, but to help their team members develop and really start showing them where they should put their focus. So if you guys are all working in this business and you're looking at your team, you got to see where are they? Are they in the learning phase? Are they in the practicing, teaching? Are you duplicating them, etc.? Let's go and click on next. All right, this is the 90-day fast tracker. A lot of people wanted to get this at convention, so here it is. We're going to go ahead and post this up for everyone to use. This is a very valuable tool. So for those of you guys wondering, what should we do? Well, we want to encourage this behavior. We want everybody to go out there and start sponsoring, right? So if you guys look at this fast tracker, it's going to give you a guide. I'm not going to go through all of it, but you guys can see it's pretty obvious. All you want to do is enroll people and then take them through all these steps. If you do that diligently, and if you take responsibility for taking people through all these steps, you're going to be in a great position to go gold director. And that's our goal. So if you're brand new, our goal is to help you go gold director. If you guys are silvers, our goal is to help you to go gold director. But the point is, you guys really need to look at this fast tracker and be diligent about it. Don't skip any steps. Keep yourself accountable. Keep yourself on top of things. There's always something to do in your USANA business. Some people say, I don't know what to do today. I'm like, man, just looking at the fast tracker, I guarantee you there's something you can be doing that you're not doing right now. Let's click on next. All right, the fortunes of the follow-up, and I want to talk about this a little bit because a lot of people think to themselves, all right, Mike, I've talked to some people, but they're not interested. I've been looking at a lot of people, and I think to myself, man, there are so many companies out there right now that have a lousy product, have a lousy vision, they don't really have anything of substance, and yet they're enrolling people. And I have the answer why. The answer is because they follow up. I've had people invite me to presentations, meetings, all this kind of stuff, right? And every time they invite me, it's funny because I always think to myself, man, these guys are persistent. But it's true. They're calling me day after day after day. And some of you guys say, they're bugging. This is what I think. I don't think that you're bugging them if you're calling them with good intentions. You guys have to understand that what you want to do is you want to follow up to let them know that you're not joking around about this, right? You're letting them know, like, hey, I'm serious about this business. This is obviously not a joke. I want to get you on board. I want to get you on my team. That's why I'm following up with you. If it was not real, then I wouldn't be following up. So I think that you have to understand that the follow-up is not the bugging them process. It's the following up to let them know how serious you are about this. So for people who don't follow up, I'm letting you know during this 90-day push, you're going to have to follow up. You're going to have to follow up more than once, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, as many times as it takes. But remember, have the right intentions. The goal is to help them change their life, right? The help is to give them a great opportunity. So don't feel like you're bugging them. Next. All right. The next thing is obviously, as we were mentioning before, right? Dreaming big. Some people say, well, yeah, I think I want to hit director by next convention. I'm like, no, dream big. Silver, gold, that sort of thing. Seriously, set the mark high. Growth 100. I think that's dreaming big. If you're brand new, obviously you guys saw the Rookie of the Year was from Colombia. She's somebody that I worked with personally and trained, and it was a good thing to see her hit Rookie of the Year. It was an awesome experience. So I'm letting you guys know right now, make sure that you're not setting up your goals too small. Talking to 3 people, presenting to 3 people every day, yeah, set the goal to present to 5 people every day, whether it's through a video, a newspaper, or bringing them to health and freedom, whatever the case may be. Okay, let's click on next. All right, so the 90-day game plan challenge. Here's what we're going to do. We like to kind of throw out incentives. This is for our team or for anybody who's a part of the mentorship program. So if you guys look, completing the 90-day fast tracker. For anybody who gets that done, and the person who does it the first, right, the first person to complete it, we always offer a $5,000 cash bonus. This is a pretty big deal. So for anybody who really wants to take their business to another level, we will pay you $5,000 if you can complete the fast tracker. That means filling up everything and checking off all of the boxes, with the exception of the auto orders. So checking up all of the boxes, there are 30 days. You can check all that up and you can prove it, we'll validate it, and we'll pay you out $5,000 for the very first person to do it. Okay, so there's some weekly qualifications if you guys want to be a part of our mentorship group, if you're already a part of the GSA family, if you're in my team, right, my organization. If you're not a part of my organization, let's go and click on next. We're going to show you guys how that's possible. All right, so the expectations and the eligibility for people who are in our organization, it's builder and above. So if you're not a builder or above, then we have to get that done first. That's why I mentioned it, right? Get builder done. Next is make a minimum of 25 CVP every single week. That basically means you have to get a paycheck every single week. Attend all weekly events. You can't miss anything if you're going to go all out with this. Complete all weekly activities and accountabilities. We follow a 3-strike rule, basically meaning if you say you're going to do something that doesn't come through, that's a strike. If you miss something, that's a strike. And 3 strikes, and then you're out of the mentorship program. So we don't like to kick people out. We like people to kind of filter themselves out. And it's just to keep people accountable. We want to make sure we're helping the people that deserve it, not just the people who need it. All right, next is sponsoring 4 associates. So having a core 4 team to get things rolling, right? So we talked about it as international convention. So now international convention is just over. So some of you guys already have 4 new associates on board. That's great. For those of you guys who don't, get that done as soon as possible and then start working towards this, okay? Because some of you guys are brand new. You just signed up at convention or you signed up the week before convention. So we're giving those people a little bit of grace. All right, next. All right, for people who are cross-site members, this is what it's going to take. So if you just want access to like the webinars, the training, all of our marketing material, like our fast tracker, not just that, but our PowerPoint presentation, our basic training manual, everything else, you guys can see as a VIP member, it's $499, and you get access to all of that stuff. So why do we charge for this? I think a lot of people think like, okay, he's just trying to sell us something, whatever the case may be, and that's totally not the case. What you guys have to understand is that it takes effort and work to get all of this stuff done. And we're always updating our material, and this is all expenses out of pocket. So a lot of that money is just reinvested back into making the tools better, making things more convenient for everyone. At the same time, we pay for our webinar, our go-to meeting, and our go-to training. So we always beef up the attendance, right? So we need to open up seats, and we pay about $100 to $200 a month just to have that service available. So a lot of that money just gets reinvested. We're just having it there so that people can, take advantage of it. For the Elite Leadership Program, this is something that honestly I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think it's good to have a mentor in this business. So for anybody who really wants to have personal mentorship, daily, weekly accountability, coaching calls, not just for them but for their team, and just doing a lot, we highly recommend that you guys take a look at this if you're a cross-site member. People always ask, right, Mike, I'm not on your team, can you help me? I say, yeah, I'll help you, I'll do my best. But obviously you guys have to understand that we're overwhelmed sometimes with how much we have to do. So we open it up just to kind of filter people out and let people know that, yes, we can mentor you, and we will, but just be a part of the Elite Leadership Group. So this is where we're really going to take you in as if you're an associate of ours. So if you guys want to be a part of that, feel free to register with that, and we will take you in on the Elite Leadership Group. Click on next. All right, so there's our Facebook page and everything else that you guys need to know on how to communicate with us. If you guys want to contact us on how to get started with this, some of you guys are thinking, okay, well, I thought we were going to talk more about how to bring in the 20 people in 30 days. We're letting you guys know a lot of the framework, but the actual work has to be done. There's no magic bullet for this. So we're setting up events right now. You guys are going to see events posted up very, very frequently. So follow us on Facebook, right? You're also going to see a lot of just webinars, trainings, things like that, incentives, weekly accountability. You're going to see a lot of that coming up. So that's how you're ultimately going to hit your mark of bringing in 20 people in 30 days. You guys know the basics. You guys went to the training, and you guys were at convention. So you know it's really just getting people on a list and setting up those appointments. If you're a part of the leadership group, you guys have access to us. We can do one-on-ones. We can do presentations. We can do things like that. As far as the fee for the leadership group, it's just one time. It's just one time for the whole year. I'm sorry, for the 90 days. So don't think it's something that you guys have to continue to do. I recommend this. If you do the leadership group, if you do the leadership program, you're probably not going to need more than 90 days. Like, trust me, we're going to be talking quite frequently. We're going to be coaching you up, and our goal is to make you independent. We don't want to just collect money from people and then have them have to come back to us every single time. We want to do it where you're on your own after this, where you're out there building your business and the results are showing. So if there's any questions, you guys can contact us here. For people who are part of my group, know that we're going to start doing events. Our first event is going to be on Wednesday at the office. We will broadcast it so for people to watch it. Also, another thing is Saturday training. There will be a Saturday training this Saturday coming up. We're going to be doing a convention recap, and we're going to be doing a basic training. Okay? So there's a lot going on. As far as one-on-ones and other weekly events, we will be posting up on our GSA Facebook page so you guys can see. We do have meetings going on in the Valley. We have meetings going on in Montebello. We also have meetings going on in Pomona at the office. So there's meetings on all over the place, and I think those meetings are great for cross-site members to plug into all of those. So anyways, don't want to say too much more. I hope the call was helpful for you guys, and I will see you guys online or in person at some of these events. Thank you guys very much for plugging into this, and God bless. Have a great day.